time for the Parlay Pals, and that means you can sit this one out in York, Rick. But we are back. And
yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're back, baby. And it's time to make our picks for this weekend. A lot on the table. Shall we do the randomizer thingy?
Yeah, let's do it.
By the way, is Aries FC 12 on the table?
No, not on the table. Right. Not on the table. Randomizing. Here we go.
What about Fury FC 75?
No.
LFA 153?
Oh, Frank going first, followed by Ariel, followed by Connor. None of that is on the table. Right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, we have UFC and PFL Challenger Series if you want to dip your toe in.
Hey, shout out to MC Dub, Michael Carter Williams, one of the guest judges this week on PFL. How about that?
Shout out, man.
Our guy.
Shout out, dude.
Love MC Dub. Former Syracuse Orange.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year. You know him, right?
Yeah.
Point guard? Yeah, legend. Orlando Magic, Bulls,
Legend,
Bucks.
Strong, but yeah, man.
Love him. Huge MMA fan. Gigantic. I've seen him in many a fight. All right, Frankie, you're up first.
Oh, man.
Nervous?
Pretty much, yeah.
I feel like he's going to go Challenger Series. I'm strong about that.
That's what I was thinking. But I thought I would go with Concrete himself, Clayton Carpenter.
Wow. Clayton Carpenter. I'm looking for him. Oh, there he is.
Concrete.
Concrete.
Is that his nickname?
Yeah.
Is that really his nickname?
Or in France, they go Concrete. Yes.
Clayton.
Oh, is that what they call him in France?
Yes.
Clayton Concrete Carpenter? Or is it Concrete Clayton? I feel like it's Concrete
Clayton. Come
Triple
on.
C.
Yeah.
Clayton Concrete.
I like
Carpenter.
it. Any particular reason why him? Or
I mean, he's concrete.
Yeah.
I feel like that'll be useful.
Minus 305.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was minus 255 earlier.
Sure.
No, it's not. It's minus 305.
Oh, lucky for me.
What about our guy Lee Wood of Nottingham? A plus 215 dog.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from that one. That was going to be a homer pick, but I'm going to stay away from that one. All right, I'm looking at is it me or is it you? It's me, right?
It's you. What do you think that fight not going to the decision?
Well, that makes me nervous, but like he's absurd. Right. His fight against Mick Conlon last year was bananas.
Fantastic.
Bananas. And I interviewed Brendan Johnson yesterday, and then he popped in. He was doing something at the City Ground. He was doing that face-off, and then he just pops in. Amazing. Can't wait for that. Nottingham, Saturday. All right. Jessica Andrade, minus 140. Was Blanchfield a favorite against Tyler Santos?
Tyler Santos was a slight favorite.
Wow.
Like a minus 130 before it got canceled.
I'm looking at that over 1.5. There's also one other one that I wanted to look at, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Is there anything that you're leaning towards?
Yeah, I think I got my pick.
You have your pick.
Yeah, we tend to pick before the show starts.
I like to let it ride. I want it to be very authentic.
Ariel likes to get his first eyes on the card.
Yes. Mid-show.
Live.
Yes.
And in real time.
I mean, what's better than that? Who are you leaning towards? I'll let you make your pick.
I will also be taking an alternate total similar to you.
Okay, go ahead, because I got nothing else.
I will be taking the under 2.5 in the Jordan Wright Zach Pauga fight.
Under 2.5 in the Jordan Wright Zach Pauga fight. Okay, I like that.
Minus 400. Jordan Wright just has not seen a third round in his professional MMA career yet.
Wow.
He might go to the wrestling, but I don't know if he's going to be very successful. He's moving up to 205. Pauga moving down to 205. I think it's going to be a exciting fight for as long as it lasts.
And what is that, minus 2.5?
Minus 400. So we're at minus 154 now with you to go.
Okay. My pick is in. Just want to let you all know. And I am going with Myra Bueno Silva. Why are you laughing? Why?
Because I told Frank before this, I was Ariel's going to go with Myra Bueno Silva.
I mean, it's...
Clayton is 6-0, but has a winning streak of 7, which is just amazing.
How does that even work?
Maybe it was his amateur.
Weird. It's weird that they would include that. But anyway, Myra Bueno Silva going up against Lena Landsberg on the prelims. A minus 475 at the moment. So, we're just trying to get wins here. We're just trying to rack them up.
Yeah. I didn't mind the 1.5 shot for the main event.
Should we throw it on?
If I'm not mistaken, Didn't you take Carol Hossa, who fought Lena Landsberg back in October for the Parlay Pals?
Are you trying to say that I'm anti-Lena?
Yeah, it's starting to seem like you're
actually
anti-Lena
like Lena a
Landsberg.
lot. Did I take Carol Hossa? Maybe I did.
I think so. Majority decision.
Well, Lena is in a bit of a rut at the moment.
Yeah, that gets us to even money. I don't hate that.
It does?
I don't hate that. Yeah, plus 100.
Plus 100.
Clayton Carpenter minus 305. Wright Palga under 2.5 minus 400. Myra Bueno Silva minus 475. Even money. And honestly, when people rip on us for taking giant favorites, they're usually like, "Oh, make the rule minus 500 or better." We're technically doing that. So
sure,
plus 100. Here we are.
Wow,
feel good about it. Honestly, if I'm being honest, this is a tough card.
This is a tough card. Yeah,
betting perspective, viewing perspective.
Although I will admit, I am very intrigued by the main event. I think the main event is great.
Oh, right. Main event's fantastic.
The main event is absolutely great. I mean, Blanchfield looked amazing against Molly McCann. She's looked amazing thus far in her UFC career, and Jessica Andrade is, I mean, just an absolute tornado.
Yeah, it's the main event is for sure must-watch television.
All right, what do we got?
All right, let's start with UFC Apex 69. I'm keeping it light. I'm keeping it tight. This is a tough card, man. Proceed with caution. By the time this card rolls around, we'll be 2 short weeks away from UFC 285. We'll know much more about the fighters by the time that happens. To kick us off, the curtain jerker. It's a flyweight fight. You know what I'm doing here. I'm taking the under. They're 5-1 on the year, and the only one that lost was a road UFC fight. I'm not going to stop now. I'm not going to sit here and give you some long explanation of why I'm doing it. It's a flyweight fight, so I'm taking the under. It's as simple as that. I mean, the bookies are starting to wise up. They're giving us minus money on these now. It's getting ridiculous.
Wow.
We continue though. Only have a few on this, but I am taking some shots. I'm taking some sprinkles, some longer shots. So Jim Miller. He's been on this card. He was supposed to be on this card. Opponent loses his opponent. He gets Alex Hernandez in on short notice. Hernandez just fought at 145 in December. Now he's moving back up to lightweight for this fight. I mean, pretty much the way this fight is going to go, Alex Hernandez is probably going to look great in the first round, and he could have Jim Miller in some trouble. But if he doesn't finish him, I mean, it just seems like Alex Hernandez just sort of falls off a cliff if he's not able to get it done in the first round. If you look at it, 4 of his 6 UFC wins are by first-round finish. 4 of his 5 UFC losses are by second-round finish. I mean, we saw it last time out against Billy Q. We saw it last February against Renato Moicano. I remember watching that Renato Moicano fight and being like, man, Alex Hernandez at dog money was probably a good pick this week in the first round. And then we get to the second round and he just starts struggling immensely. For that reason, Junkyard Dog, the vet, been there, done that, seen it all. I'm going to take Jim Miller inside the distance at plus 333. Now, I mentioned Alexander Hernandez. 4 of his 5 UFC losses come by getting finished in the second round. Jim Miller, 3 straight victories by finishing his opponent in the second round. So I'm taking another little sprinkle on Jim Miller, round 2, plus 1,100.
Whoa.
I'm talking long shots, sprinkles, just a little something fun, make the card a little bit more interesting. Keeping it tight, keeping it small. Only have 4 singles on this one. But Jim Miller, I mean, he can be a hero for me on Saturday. That would be absolutely tremendous to watch this cash. I mean, I think there's a legitimate chance at it. If we can get to the second round, if we can meet in the center of the octagon in the second round, I feel good about the potential of this cashing, man. I mean, it really is just the story of Hernandez's last 3 years. I mean, he's super dangerous. He's super talented. But if he can't get his opponent out in the first round, he really starts to struggle. Main event, played it this morning. Honestly, I thought about waiting even longer to see if there was going to be more money coming in on Blanchfield, but at this line, I felt comfortable playing it. Some people might end up getting like minus 120, minus 115 on Jessica Andrade. A lot of people seem to like Aaron Blanchfield this week. This is a big step up in competition for her. I mean, this is not the J.J. Aldrichs. This is not the Sarah Alpars. This is not Molly McCann. This is Jessica Andrade. Like this is top tier talent here. This is a super talented opponent, a super dangerous opponent. I mean, if you look at who Andrade is losing to, It is the top of the top. It's the Joannas, it's the Roses, the Valentinas, the Whaleys. Like that's who she's losing to. When she fights someone like Lauren Murphy, she essentially put on a masterclass just a few weeks ago. Really, the only thing that's giving me any sort of pause here is the fact that it is on short notice. Is she going to be in proper shape? Is she going to be good to go? From everything that I've ever seen from her fights, I fail to think that she's not going to be in shape. She took the fight for a reason. It doesn't have like a huge benefit to her winning, whereas if Blanchfield wins, it's going to be absolutely massive for her moving to a title. So I'm going to assume that she's in shape. And the performance she's coming off of, I mean, she looked so fantastic. There's going to be a large disparity in the striking. I think if this stays on the feet, it's just going to be one-way traffic for Jessica Andrade. The worry is Blanchfield being able to get the takedowns. We saw her struggle against Valentina Shevchenko, got taken down 7 times, finished. Not a great performance. But in her UFC career, man, a 74% takedown defense, not many people have been able to have successes. It was really only Valentina, and then 10 years ago when she was fighting at bantamweight against, the Liz Carmouches and the Raquel Penningtons of the world. I think the only other person to get multiple takedowns was Tisha Torres, and Jessica Andrade landed 10 takedowns in that fight. So, I mean, if we're going into round 2 and say Erin Blanchfield is 0 for 3 on takedowns, I mean, Jessica Andrade is going to run away with this thing. And the fact that it's a 5-round fight and Jessica Andrade is live for a finish at any moment, I'm going to favor here. I mean, this is a super playable price, and maybe I look back on her and it's just like, man, I can't believe I played Jessica Andrade against Erin Blanchfield. She really is the future. But at this rate, I'm going to go with Jessica Andrade. I think she gets it done, and I think she likely finishes her.
Wow, likely finishes. Good thing I didn't take that, what was it, minus 50,000?
Yeah. Shout out to Best Fight Odds, minus 50,000.
Yes. I really do like this fight, I have to say. I
think it's a fantastic fight. I mean, I could be wrong on this. It's a coin flip on the odds, essentially, with the way that it's moving. A lot of people like Blanchfield. She is up and coming, and I think it's going to be super entertaining. I mean, it's rare that Jessica Andrade is not involved in an entertaining fight.
I would also say, I know we were talking about thinking about it more. You beat Jessica Andrade, Erin Blanchfield.
Huge.
How do you deny? Again, the big if is if Valentina loses, you got to give her an immediate rematch. But if she wins, you beat Jessica Andrade, and I feel like that's the most impressive win of anyone else in that discussion.
Say she finishes Jessica Andrade too.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
I mean, this is a 5-rounder, dude, and Andrade makes fights chaotic. Like there's a world that if she loses, she gets finished. Especially if Blanchfield's able to get her on the ground consistently throughout the rounds. I think it's a fantastic fight. When I heard Santos was out, I was pretty disappointed, but
you're like, damn it.
I mean, amazing replacement.
Amazing
replacement. And I do have a little action. I got a little action on Wood Lara.
What do we got?
I had to do it.
You going with the dog?
I'm taking Lee Wood to get knocked down.
Oh, interesting.
Minus 102.
You can do that? Now, you're not saying get knocked out. You're not
get knocked out.
Just knocked down once.
Get knocked down. So I mean, if you go back and look at his last fight, he gets knocked down in the first round, comes back and ends up winning in the 12th round. But I mean, Mauricio Lara, man, he's got serious power. 6 knockdowns in his last 3 fights. These dudes are. If everything that they're saying is true, they're going to come to the center of the ring and they are just going to chuck them. I really do think this is going to be an incredibly exciting fight. And I think someone's going to get knocked down, and I'm going to lean to the side.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit wild and wacky.
Yeah, I think it's going to be wild and wacky, but I am taking another little flyer here. A lot of people thinking this one's going to end earlier. I am actually going to take the fight to end in rounds 7 through 12. So either of them can win. It's plus 220. So my thinking behind this, last time Lara was in a 12-rounder, I believe it's the only time he's ever fought in a 12-rounder against Warrington. He got 2 knockdowns in that fight, and it took him till the 9th round to finish it. And then Lee Wood, all 5 of his last wins, all by knockout. None of them came before the 9th round. So I kind of like this to be a slugfest that goes a little bit later and someone ends up getting finished. It's like minus 110 to end in the first 6 rounds. At plus 220, I'm willing to take a little shot on it going longer.
Can't wait. And the word is, if he wins, maybe even if he loses because he's such a big star, but I think if he wins, it makes more sense. They would do him versus Warrington this summer at the City Ground. Can you imagine that?
He said in the little mini doc that Matchroom put out, Dance with the Devil, that like the dream is to beat Lara.
Yeah.
And then fight at the city.
Yeah.
Taking a flight out there if that
It's going to be me, Brennan, Jesse, Stevie Coop sitting in the front row, just taking it all in. Just taking it all in.
Should be great stuff. I can't wait.
Nothing on the chamber, huh? No Sami Zayn play?
Do you want to know the odds?
Tell me.
There are odds.
There are?
Yeah.
What is it?
Roman Reigns minus 2,000.
2,000?
Sami Zayn plus 700.
Ah.